Hey, WokeNFree Nation, Newsly is an audio app for iOS and Android. It picks up web articles about the most trending topics on the web at any given moment and reads them to you in a natural human voice.
For the first time in the history of the internet, the entire web becomes listenable. Browse articles from topics you choose and start playing. Stop scrolling, start listening.
You can follow any topic as specific as you like, from sports, science, to Bitcoin, or even one of your favorite celebrities. It will find you the latest articles and read them to you aloud.
And they have podcasts as well. Explore trending podcasts from over 50 countries. Our podcast, WokeNFree, is there too.
Now let's get into the episode. Hi, it's Natasha.
And Khalil.
And we are the co-hosts of
WokeNFree.
Thank you for tuning into our 315th episode of WokeNFree. If you've been tuning in every week for WokeNFree Wednesday, you know that WokeNFree is all about being real and honest with each other and you. We talk about everything and anything important to us, you, the world, and nothing is off the table. This week, we are asking a very interesting question, which is, if you could solve one world problem, what would it be and why? So before we dive into the subject on a deeper level, a couple things to go over. First, have you downloaded the episode on WokeNFree.com? If not, please do so immediately. Come to listen, but make sure you download, because with downloading through the Podbean app, you are able to put in your comments and you can share with us what is the world problem you would solve and why. And if none, why that too? We want to hear it all. So make sure you do that. Now, if you listen to podcasts on a device where you can't get another app like the Podbean app, that is sad, but you still can support our show by going to any of the following places and following and subscribing to the show. So we are on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora. It's a WokeNFree world where most podcasts are consumed. You will find this show. So make sure you do that. On WokeNFree.com, you can click to subscribe to follow the show through the Podbean app, which is greatly appreciated as well. And we'd love for all the engagement, all the conversations to be had on our social channels. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, and LinkedIn at WokeNFree. Follow, subscribe to us there, engage with us all the places, all the time. And then lastly, if you haven't reviewed the show, we would greatly appreciate that feedback, because then this tells us how the show's feeding into your life. So best place to do that is to go to WokeNFree.com, go on the listen tab, and then pick your platform of choice where you can review the show.
And then before we start the conversation, how about we share a little bit about ourselves? This week, let's ask, would you rather control your joystick to your video game by using your foot or your mouth?
So both are gross. And
hey, careful. That you can be offending somebody.
Well, I mean, for me, like the idea of me doing it, not to anyone else. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes. So when we're answering the question,
reason for this.
Yes. Totally understand and see where you're coming. But for me, the idea of me using either of those, parts of my body seem frustrating.
Frustrating, really?
They seem frustrating.
Oh, okay.
But that's because I'm not the biggest gamer. I like video games for sure, but unfortunately, I don't put enough time and energy into that. And then when I do, I barely can get it together with my hands. So then going down either of these rabbit holes seem frustrating. But if I had to choose, I guess I would say the foot, because I don't know if I could consent to the other option.
You don't want to put
I'm not
seeing,
but don't finish that sentence. Yeah. Oh. Your answer?
I mean, for me, it's pretty easy. It's the foot, because guess what happens now? Now your hands are free to do what you want. You can eat more of your nachos. You can eat some more of your pizza. You can down that bottle of soda. You can do a lot of things with your hands now, because it's free to do anything. So I would definitely go with the foot. I mean, that's like a no-brainer. I would get the foot controller. That's for me.
That makes sense.
Because it solves a lot of problems that you have usually when you're gaming. Because usually you have a lot of problems, but
oh, that is the viral moment. Usually you have a lot of problems when you're gaming.
Yeah.
Wowzers. Okay, I think Tyra Banks would agree with you on that statement. Shout out to Tyra.
It could mean a lot of things there. That's the whole thing.
There are a lot
it's open
of
to interpretation.
Yeah, a lot of problems.
It's open to your interpretation and your personal experience.
This is starting off poorly. Yeah.
But think about that. That's almost like the world itself. If you look at
it's starting off poorly.
Oh, that's
Facts.
interesting.
Facts.
I mean, I would only say in terms of the human world. I wouldn't say the Earth
not
itself.
The dinosaurs
I like how the Earth started. I mean, I'm okay with. I don't think it was poorly.
But
I mean, that's hard to say.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean, we started off rough, and it's still
and it's
rough
going to
now.
End rough, yes.
Well, I don't know about that. It can end kindly and peacefully.
Maybe
don't know.
we'll see.
Because
depends on what the aliens intend, I guess.
Or what we do in this episode by solving the problems,
problem,
right?
True.
Or
okay.
just maybe one problem. If you could solve one problem, what would it be and why?
Well, you know me, WokeNFree Nation, and Khalil, you definitely know me after 19 years, and it's hard for me to answer a question with just one answer. So,
oh boy, really?
Yeah. So, fortunately, I have to answer this with a combo, and my combo is I would solve homelessness and poverty, because as both of us have both experienced a lack of resources, a lack of necessities like food or electricity, or even for some of us a home, right? And so there are too many people in this world, not just America, world, that don't have any of those basic necessities like food, electricity, internet, free healthcare, mental health support, resources every single day that we need to live and to love our life. So that to me is what I would solve.
I mean, I think poverty encompasses the homelessness, because if you're not impoverished, then
but not all poor people are homeless, though. That's why I did break it apart that way. Because
but that's a choice, though, because you have money to do what you want. Like you're choosing to be homeless.
You're less
like literally, if you have money, you can have a home. Otherwise, you don't have money. That's what it means. And when I say don't have money, that's regional, meaning you may be rich if you're in the south of the United States, but if you're in, Sacramento, maybe it's not as much. Or San Francisco, you might not be. So I'm saying if you're not in poverty for your region, then you're not going to be homeless. That's all I state. So I don't count that as two. I count that as one for you.
I appreciate that.
And the thing I would solve is just renewable energy for everyone. So I wouldn't just want renewable energy. I mean, we're still working on getting there. I wouldn't just want that. I'd want it that it's available to everybody and
beautiful
at a real, like basically free, since it's renewable.
Rate,
I don't want it to just be something that people gobble up and say, hey, we give this to who we want, and everybody else, you guys gotta take your pickings. So it needs to be available for everybody in every country across the planet, basically.
Okay.
What are the top 3 global problems plaguing our society?
So on humanrightscareers.com, and you'll find all of our links in the episode at WokeNFree.com, the top 3 global issues are as follows. Number 1, poverty. No surprise there. In fall of 2022, the World Bank will update the international poverty line from $1.90 to $2.15. And that means that anyone living on less than $2.15 is in extreme poverty. And that to me just seemed really challenging and frustrating.
I guess that's an hourly rate, not like an annual rate, right?
More to be discussed there, I think, by clicking on the link and sharing more. But to move on, I would say actually number 2, which again, no surprise there, climate change. Whether there are climate deniers or climate adopters or advocates, nonetheless, the climate is a topic of conversation. It is a reality of our life, and we have so many different ecosystems that are being disrupted on a daily basis, along with a series of disastrous ecological and climate related things that are happening in our world, which is killing people and killing ecosystems and killing animals. So that is number 2 with a bullet. And number 3 is food insecurity. Again, no surprise there. According to the 2022 Global Report on Food Crises, which is produced by the Global Network Against Food Crises, the number of people in crisis or worse is the highest it's been in the 6 years since the report has existed. Close to 193 million people were experiencing acute food insecurity in 2021, which is an increase of almost 40 million since 2020. And this represents a staggering 80% increase from 2016. Causes include economic shocks like increase in global food prices, domestic food price inflation in low income countries also rose a lot, and then weather related disasters are also a big driver for 15.7 million people in 15 countries. That was a primary driver of acute food insecurity. So these are all things to cry about, really.
One of them seems pretty easy to solve, though, but the other ones, I'm not sure. That's going to take
Give
a while.
all the money to everyone.
No, I mean, we have like
an abundance of food. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not even just our country. There's other countries like that too. We just don't do the right thing with it, right?
Yeah,
that's the real problem. So once we can get that organized, we can start feeding the world, basically. And then when I say we, not just America, I'm talking about everybody with excess food.
This is a global lift. If there's a person everywhere, that means someone needs to be fed.
Yeah, it can definitely happen. It's not, that'll be, and I think that'll be solved.
In our lifetime?
I haven't looked up the information, but in our lifetime. Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I think we're a little bit out from there, but I would say in a few decades.
So too. Yeah.
But I mean,
in KJ's lifetime, though, I think so.
Yeah, I think we just miss it. But it's as tech gets, more efficient and we get more advanced with the AI and the robots. It's going to be really easy to take care of that. So that'll happen.
And actually, to speak to your question, I think that reference point was just the amount per day. I don't think that's hourly because I've heard that where people talk about like it just costs. Like
that's why I didn't.
Feed.
But that's why I asked, was it hourly or annually? I didn't know.
Two different cadences. I think that was a daily rate. Not hourly, a daily rate amount of what it costs. Because I've heard that it costs like $2 or something.
I don't know, because
for someone to live in Africa.
Because certain places it costs a penny to live. I don't know.
More to research, I guess. More episodes.
That's the only reason I said that. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure about that. So I think you covered a lot of the big ones, but something else that it doesn't get a lot of play, but it is an issue, is that we have an issue with fresh water availability.
That's a big one.
A lot of people are exporting their fresh water, actually. So even Arizona, we have a thing that's kind of messed up so
drinking water, just to clarify, right? That's what you mean for fresh water?
Well, it's not just drinking, but it's water. It might be for farms and crops as well.
Or just utilization.
So it's kind of like we have, like, most of our water is the ocean water, but that water can't be used for, it can't be used for, like, I guess a lot of different things. Yeah, you got to take all that salt out of it before it's useful for most things that we use. But, so water is actually a big commodity that's, people don't realize that we have a limited amount of it.
Absolutely.
Limited amount of fresh water. And just one example is that here we have a country that is purchased lands in Arizona that's they're growing a plant that they can't grow because it takes up too much water. So that's what I was talking about in terms of exporting your water.
Wow.
Like, even states are doing that to other countries, and it's something to think about. It's not really great.
That's incredible.
According to the UN, they say that 80% of wastewater flows back into the ecosystem.
Wow.
297,000 children under 5. They die every year from diarrhea diseases due to poor sanitation, poor hygiene, or unsafe drinking water. And then 2.2 billion people lack access to safely managed drinking water services.
Oh my God. Across the world?
Yeah, across the world. So that's just a couple of issues that the UN even brought up.
That is
just
terrible.
Yeah, so we got some things we need to solve there, right?
Absolutely. Instead of just being concerned about some fun things and non-consequential things, I think this episode speaks to the severity of global issues that are facing all of us. And so with that, what do you say is the likelihood that the problem you raise in this episode is actually going to be solved?
I mean, I think some people might think it's impossible, while others they think it's already solved. So,
are you referring to a certain not Democrat? Sorry, Republican. No, I'm sorry. Political party. Freudian slips.
Oh yeah, I mean, at least when it comes to U.S. there's a party that says, "Hey, we're good. Just keep using those. We have enough resources that
driving them fast.
We keep on mining and using coal and using resources that are limited because it'll be available forever. It's limited, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt the earth. It doesn't destroy the environment either. It's fine. Don't worry about that black smoke going in there. It doesn't do anything.
It's nothing. Ain't nothing
so
chicken wing.
I mean, the actuality of it being fixed is, I think we probably got hundreds of years before we can actually get that renewable energy source, and that can actually support us. Because right now it's not like, all right, renewables make up 100% of our energy use. And that's what we need to get to. Once it's up to 100% of energy use, then we're good. But yeah, we're not there yet. Definitely not. So I think we got a couple hundreds of years. Like we're building out new tech is coming out, and we're trying to figure out the best way to use it. And I think eventually it will be solved. I don't think it's like never gonna happen.
Gotcha. So again, just to reiterate, you wanted renewable energy for all that's affordable and accessible, easily accessible. For me, the problem I wanted to solve is homelessness and poverty, or one could argue poverty. And is that a solvable issue? Yes. Similar to your answer, is it solvable for today? No, but it is solvable in time. And so it's going to come down to actual focus and determination of resources, energy, and people willing to do the lift. And by people, I mean all of us. We all are contributors to making sure that everyone has the basic necessities to live. So whether that's how we donate our money, donate our time, build businesses, grow existing businesses, change infrastructure, and help to enhance technology, it can be done. I am a firm believer that if there is a problem, there's a born solution. And, again, second viral moment of the episode. There you go there, y'all.
Is there anything about the problem you raised that people can address today?
I'm so glad that you asked that. So if you go to commonbond.org, they have an article titled 7 Ways You Can Help Fight Poverty in Your Community. And so one is challenge ideas and assumptions. To your earlier point, there are some people in the world that go around and they share rhetoric or they push down other rhetoric to try to convince people that their belief or their stance is the only stance. And as we know, there's not one way to live. There's not one way to believe anything. So please do know this. If you take anything from this episode, people are starving, literally. People are struggling, literally, in this world. And even if you don't see it in your backyard, doesn't mean it's not happening. So please challenge ideas and assumptions that maybe are counter to what you're comfortable with. Second, awareness is everything. So please get wherever you are listening. Try to understand what the poverty rates are. Try to understand what the poverty issues are. Every community, every state, every country is going to have a different host of issues. So get informed. That's the only way before you can help. You have to understand what the problem is. And then simply open up your wallets, open up your calendars, donate time and food and funds, and explore opportunities that allow you to be an individual contributor to making change, because you don't need to be an advocate. You don't need to be Malcolm X to change this world. You just need to wake up and do something yourself. Viral moment number 3.
All right. At least you pointed it out.
It's like practically ministry here. So, then next, when it comes to homelessness, couple of solutions on therightoshower.com. I thought you would like that URL address. 7 practical ways you can help homelessness. A couple of things. Donate clothes, especially socks.
Wow.
And our undergarments, right? That's one of the hardest things that folks need when they're out in these streets.
Well, that's a large wear and tear
right?
item.
Yeah, exactly. Volunteer your time. You can help fundraise. Again, you do not need to wait for your legislators to do something about it. Each and every one of us has the option to look in our home and we can give away things to help other people. We can give our time. Stop asking or waiting for other people to solve the issues that we all can help and work together and solve together. There you go.
Oh, really?
I'm very passionate about it because it hurts to know that children are hurt by this. Animals are hurt by this. I mean,
animals are hurt by poverty?
Homelessness, right? How many homeless people have you seen with cats and dogs?
Oh, you're talking about like domesticated animals?
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm not talking about Komodo dragons.
No, I thought you were talking about like buffaloes or something.
No,
like they were getting mad.
I don't think they constitute as homeless.
but I thought you
to live in the streets.
But I thought you were trying to say if people are homeless, buffaloes get upset about it. Yeah. What kind of thing? Like they're
last time I checked, I wasn't able to understand the buffaloes in their native tongue. So
that's the only way you can communicate. That's the only way you can communicate in native tongues. Is that what you're saying? There's no other way to communicate information.
Like I said, there's not one way to do anything. So I bet there are other ways to communicate.
Okay, finally.
And I'm not telepathic currently as well. So that's just
okay. So that's the only other way.
There's no. I'm just mentioning 2 ways.
Okay, just to make
I don't know which direction you're going. So
I'm just trying to make it clear that you can communicate with animals and other things without verbal communication. You can use other signs.
Are you talking about sign language?
No, body language, pheromones. You can smell like if someone.
I can purposely communicate with my pheromones.
I'm not saying purposely. Well, you can learn to do that. I mean, if you become a powerful monk, you could do that, but I'm not saying you should.
Yeah, I'm not notifying my wife just quite yet.
And then guess what? There's actually a more crude way you can do it. What am I going to say? You can communicate it right now anytime you want.
Are you talking about flatulence?
I mean, that's one way. I was thinking more, but most animals use their urine is the thing to communicate stuff.
How do I know how to communicate in urine?
To a buffalo, I'm saying. So if you urined on your stuff, the buffalo would know not to come near it. Well, but I mean, you're doing it in the past.
Urine,
yes. Yeah, see, I don't know what the present. I don't know.
I don't know.
If you're doing the.
What are your thoughts?
All I'm saying though, there's many ways to communicate though.
Segue of the conversation.
There's many ways to communicate. Well, I would want to. The thing I want to address is the water crisis, actually, because the energy crisis. I think there's a lot that goes into the energy crisis. I mean, there's things you can do, but I think the water is something more like astounding that people need to do. So the first thing is just try to use less water. Just conserve. I think that's good. That actually goes with energy too, though.
Washing dishes, not letting the sink just run. Yep.
Yeah, well, you can, actually using a dishwasher if you have it, because it uses less water. I mean, you can. The second thing is you could collect rainwater and use that for certain things too. You could wash your clothes with rainwater.
Oh, that's
you shouldn't necessarily drink it, but there's certain things that you can still use rainwater for. So, hey, if you can, try to collect that. I mean, it's
that's
free,
cool,
right?
Yeah.
The third thing is you can go to waterproject.org where you can choose a community to help get access to safe and reliable water.
Love it.
Those are a couple things you can do for a water crisis.
And I think because of the nature of how important this episode is, we're probably going to have to talk more about other environmental things, as also deeply how passionate you were in this episode. So I think that's a cool indicator that there's more to come, WokeNFree Nation.
I'm a passion purveyor.
Well, weren't you going around touting as an environmentalist earlier this week?
Oh, was I?
I believe you were, and you were.
Oh, yes, I am. Oh, yeah, I am.
I'm glad that you were called that.
Now I remember. No, because the problem is that people they'll say, oh yeah, they're environmentals and stuff, but they won't do the little things that count. I do all the little things. I keep that all in mind.
You recycle, and you tell everyone every time you do.
And I try to conserve though too, and I try to make use, reuse. I do all that stuff. There's people that they'll say it, but they don't walk it. They'll toss out half their steak. It's stuff like that. All this stuff counts. I don't do any of that. I think about every last drop of everything. I get everything I can. Even my clothes I get.
You live
I
that
get the last,
truth.
That's what I'm saying.
1986. You live that truth. Yes.
See, so that's what I meant. You remember to spark that in me.
I will never forget that one. Yes.
What, you're an
environmentalist and you're proud. You ain't messing with nobody.
Oh man.
Malcolm X would also be proud.
Yes, exactly. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? It's scenario time. Scenario 1. Tambra is steadfast in her belief that if everyone worked hard, poverty would be eradicated. She found an antique lamp at a garage sale the other day and decided to try and make a wish upon it. She wished that everyone in the world would work their hardest. Do you think Tambra is wasting her breath with that action?
That's a harsh way to ask that question.
Really?
Is your life a waste? I mean, Tambra, I would say, fascinating name. And then secondly, it's not necessarily that we all need to work the hardest. We need to work the smartest, and we need to work nonetheless. So rubbing lamps, last I checked, did very little to achieving goals. It may be a form of mindfulness that I'm unaware of.
You said you gotta rub the lamp
last time I checked, unless a genie popped out.
Can't you just talk to the lamp? You should rub it first.
Or you can mentally, telepathically share thoughts with it. I mean,
you could use your mind to communicate with the lamp, right?
But at the end of the day, last time I checked, it was actual action and actual collaboration and money and innovation that led to change in this world. And so if she thinks she wants to help people learn how to tackle poverty, which warms my heart, because as a person of color who's experienced poverty in my life, and you have as well, this is not something that we're talking about theory. This is something that has touched our own homes. So you have to actually do something. And rubbing lamps is sadly not one of those exercises.
Rubbing or wishing upon it. Either way.
Si, senor.
Okay, that's...
¿Y tú? Your answer?
So my answer is she's wasting her breath. She shouldn't have done that.
Darn.
It was a waste of time.
Okay.
I mean, it's fun, but... I mean, maybe you could film yourself doing it.
Yeah, maybe there's a way of content, and maybe she's rubbing it, and then she's like, "Let's end homelessness," and people really like that, and that becomes viral, and then she becomes the ambassador of some, anti-homelessness organization. You could go about it that way, maybe.
I mean, I don't know. She doesn't even
in and of itself, rubbing lamps or thinking about rubbing lamps seems frustratingly.
Because I think she's on the wrong track. She thinks that you could work hard and poverty goes away.
Yeah, no.
That's not how it works.
People are working hard and dying in poverty.
She needs to start to read up on poverty maybe and figure out what's causing it and that kind of stuff. But she's wasting time to me. Scenario 2. Ausman is certain if people had no drama, the world would be a better place. Do you think this is too general of a wish to make an impact if it could actually be granted?
That's another interesting question. So I would say that drama is a good distraction. And unfortunately, I do think human people or our species is easily distracted because we have so much content and so many things that we can distract ourselves with around who's getting married, who's getting divorced, who's cheating, who's doing this, who's buying this, where are you living, what are you, like there's a lot of that rhetoric going on instead of some of the rhetoric that we should be focused on every day is everyone able to sleep safely, peacefully? Are people still being physically, emotionally, mentally, sexually harassed or harmed? Like there are some real heavy hitting things that if we were to really think about every day, people would be too frustrated. So it's much funner to talk about the drama of the nation, of celebrities and things like that. However, I don't think, there's not one way to live. We don't just always have to be in some type of march to live life, that we can have a little bit of fun and a little bit of drama and actually hit some real things in life. So no drama is probably very unlikely because human beings are agents of chaos, which thus means there's drama. But could we reduce pointless drama? Yes, I think so. And really get a little bit more focused on the real things that need to happen in this world.
I would argue that if you could grant this wish of no drama, it'd be kind of like in Wishmaster where, you got the wish, but it causes all sort of other issues now that there's no drama. So that's scary. What you have to think about. Like,
so scary.
If humans didn't have drama, I mean, could we use the restroom? I don't know.
You're sick.
Other things come up where it's like, oh no,
get away from
I can't have drama.
You mentioned Dream Bed. You know how I feel about that Wishmaster. And we'll have to put that link in, y'all. If you have not watched that movie, we've mentioned it before. It's sick. And your response was on that edge of that. So yeah.
So I think that's not something you want to do, even if you can make it happen. Careful. Like you said, you need a little bit of drama in your life. That's how humans operate. Humans are animals. I mean, all animals have some drama.
Agents of chaos.
Even those buffaloes, they have drama.
Here you go again with these buffaloes.
Yeah, because
are you itching to see some?
They're big. You can't mess with them.
They are beautiful. I used to love buffaloes.
Don't mess with them. They'll mess you up.
Them and hippos. They're not messing around with them.
But moose are crazy too.
Moose are pretty darn cool,
huge. They're just these big creatures.
I like deer though. They're super cute.
Deer are just they're softies, but the moose and
they're not playing around.
The buffaloes, careful. Those aren't cuddly animals.
Yeah, they're serious. They're playing. They're in it to win it.
That's a warning for you people who go to Yellowstone and try to touch them.
Careful.
Don't get near. Don't touch the wildlife. They tell you that. Follow the rules. Follow the park's rules.
Yes.
Scenario 3. Jamel wants to help slow the growth of human-driven climate change. She wants to do her part by buying an electric car and hoping she has eradicated her carbon footprint for her entire life. Do you think her wish will come true?
No, bless her heart, she's sweet, but no. So she's reducing her carbon footprint, but she cannot eliminate it because unless she plans to never leave her home or her electric car, hopefully it's a Tesla. Nonetheless, she still has a carbon footprint with other utilization of resources. Because last time I checked, buying an electric car doesn't mean you still don't need to shower, doesn't mean you don't need to go and do other things that ensue a carbon footprint. So bless her heart, but no, she's not doing that. She can think that sweet thought, but it's not a reality.
Yeah, I mean, people often think if I do this one thing, then I've been green for my entire life. Like that's not true. Off to heaven I go. No, you have to, it's a culmination of many actions. So there's not one action that you could take that was like, wow, you offset everything else you did. It's not true. You need to actually work towards a better future of being clean.
Which really speaks to the fact
there's a lot more to it.
a change in lifestyle is ongoing, continuous effort that results in global change if we all do it together. But yeah, there's not one action we can take that gets us to where, either where that may be, or
the center of the earth.
Facts. And that's, I think, where people are itching to go.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Or to avoid. It depends on your thoughts.
I don't know if you can avoid that. I think eventually you'll be there no matter what.
Well, since, The Rock did a movie about the journey to the center of the earth, maybe more people are curious.
You're right.
So, there's that. But with that, again, more conversations definitely to be had around environmental conservation and innovation and ... fill in the blank. It's coming to the end of this episode, which is our 315th episode of
WokeNFree.
Okay, Flintstone. We had quite the fun and intrigue discussing if you could solve one world problem, what would it be and why? What do folks have to do now, Khalil?
They have to know that was Captain Planet, and then come back next week with
terrible.
a new WokeNFree Wednesday episode.
Didn't even watch the show. That was terrible. What are you suggesting? He didn't sound like that.
That was his cousin.
Was he inebriated? I mean...
No, he had a cousin.
That was a children's program.
That was his stand-in cousin.
That was for children.
No, but his cousin stood in, and that's what he did.
And he was not a part of the show or understanding anything of the show.
No, he would help him out. He had to take breaks sometimes, and his cousin would step in. So here you go. I'm helping you out.
Flintstones.
No, this is definitely not that. This is a episode about the planet, so it had to be more. It had to be along those ends. I
love that. Oh, I have to watch that again.
Exactly. Okay. Make sure you follow us on social media to follow along in the conversation, and make sure you tune in next week for WokeNFree Wednesday to join the conversation at WokeNFree.com.
Wonderful. If you want to share a topic or your life story or anything in between that, hit us up on our Contact Us page at WokeNFree.com. That's WokeNFree.com. Again, hit us up on social, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, LinkedIn at WokeNFree, and all sponsorship and collaboration queries. Best place to reach us is our Contact Us page at WokeNFree.com.
If you didn't already subscribe, please do. Share the episode and make sure you come back to join the conversation every Wednesday for WokeNFree Wednesdays. Remember, WokeNFree is more than a podcast. It is a way of life. Till next time.